Black is excellent, black is queen, black is you, black is me. Black is something that they can't defeat. Black is everything they wanna be. They make fun, then they copy our ways. Our slang to our braids, then pretend like racism change. Judges can't relate to our pain. Been through the fire and rain. Lock us up in chains. Kill us, they don't have to explain. Royalty, they call us out of our name. Black on black crime is not the same.
What's up, everyone? Welcome to the Simply Real podcast. Thanks for rocking with us today. We have a very special guest, Izova the Khemist, a music artist, a graphic designer, and event curator. He's just an all-around dope person. Welcome to the Simply Real podcast. What's going on with you today?
Thank you for having me. I'm blessed. Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, I've been in a lot of spaces with you the last couple of weeks, and you have just been hitting the ground running. You are just an awesome individual doing so many things. Give us a little rundown about Izova the Khemist and how you got that name. I'm feeling the name.
You know what? Yeah, I got to definitely reciprocate the vibes and the compliment back to you. So I appreciate those compliments and I reciprocate that love back to you. Dope individual yourself. As far as my name, wow. Taking it back to that, I mean, I went through a lot of names as an artist, trying to find myself, my identity. I didn't feel like none of the names really resonated with me. You know what I mean? So I had a MC of mine that was a friend. He was like a mentor in the MC in the musical realm. And I used to DJ, and we was trying to come up with names. And he was like, man, your name should just be It's Over. And the spelling was different. But I wrote it down, start playing with the words. I changed the pronunciation and I changed the spelling, and I came up with Izova. Also added the chemist on it because I feel like music is a drug and I'm cooking up that fix, that remedy. You know what I mean?
Ah, nice. That's a dope story. That fits really well. I like it. I'm feeling the vibes on that. Definitely.
Yeah, the story is definitely one for the books.
So tell us about your musical journey. How'd you get started? What kind of music? Like, what's going on with that?
All right. So I started off doing music simply with poetry first. You know what I mean? Writing poetry, looking for an outlet as a young kid, you know, youth, teenager, trying to, express my emotions and things like that. So I was using poetry. Then I got into DJing, and I used to skateboard a lot. So, music was something that we obviously listen to when we skate. So I took it up a step and I started DJing, and I flipped that record over and I started freestyling to that instrumental. And I fell in love with, rapping, putting words together even more than just using the poetry. I liked having the mic in my hand and the attention that came with it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely. Who were some of your favorite artists growing up that sort of influenced this?
Yeah, so my brother, I started off with a lot of artists, a variety too, not just West Coast artists, me being from the West. So I would have to say Nas, Scarface, LL Cool J, Tupac for sure, Queen Latifah. You know what I mean? These are artists I remember hearing through my brother, you know what I'm saying? As I'm watching him working out, things of that nature. And I took it up a step with like Nas, Busta Rhymes. Those were my earlier days, you know what I'm saying?
You dropping like the old school names.
Yeah. Those are my guys for sure.
That's when hip hop was real back in the day. And we were just talking about that the other day, the evolution of hip hop. So you seen that, you mentioning those dope names, which I agree with 100%. What do you think about the evolution with hip hop today? With the different artists?
I think it's dope. I think that things just continue to circulate. We'll be back, I believe, towards something that we used to see in the past with like the 90s, the early 2000s. We'll start seeing those trends come back around again. But right now we in like the social media stages, streaming stages, and things are different. So I actually like it, but I commend the artists that still try to bring and use those old school tactics and that 90s, 2000 sound. You know what I mean?
Right. And everything all meshes together. And we're definitely in a different era of music right now. But you mentioned something about music and how it impacted you growing up. How do you think it influenced you to what you're doing today? And how do you see that it's been such a big impact in your life in terms of the music?
Right. Music has definitely been an influence for me. Like I said, being able to express myself and then listen to other people express their thoughts and their emotions, you know. Um, Aside from that, opening up doors for me as a person, entrepreneur, businessman, you know. So for me, it's definitely one of my biggest things, you know, that I hold close to me. Music opens up a lot of doors and it takes us as individuals to another level.
Oh yeah, absolutely. The evolution. Now you mentioned entrepreneurship, and I see you doing some amazing things. I know you're an event curator, you're also a graphic designer. How did you make that pivotal step into entrepreneurship?
You know what? I would have to say just being a creative, not wanting to work for anybody else, not wanting to go to sleep or wake up due to other people's obligations for me. You know what I'm saying? And going back to just being a creative, I love to create. Like the shirt I got on, I created this.
Oh, that's dope. Nice.
Yeah, from graphics to events. I feel like I was at a point in my life where I wasn't really being creative and I was very unhappy. And I had to sit myself down and I had to ask myself, why aren't you happy? You got a lot of things going on. You got your kids, you got this, you got that going on, but I wasn't happy. And once I sat myself down, reflected, and evaluated, I wasn't being creative. I wasn't putting things out into the atmosphere. So for me, that's what taught me that I needed to be creative and have my space to be able to do so. So that's like the most important thing for me right now. It's like having the space to be creative and then just setting those goals and that time aside to do all these different things that I want to do.
Right. You know, you saying the word creative a lot, and I love it. And so we talk a lot about mindset, but there's also something called the creative mindset, which I definitely think you grasp and you have. What are some concepts or some brand identities that you've grasped from the creative mindset that you would say kind of describes who you are, how it drives you, how it motivates you? What are some of those core values of the creative mindset that you would say is kind of what you tap into?
Right. One thing I would have to say is just definitely as adults, I think that we forget that we have an inner child, an inner kid in us. You know what I'm saying? So we have to follow that. Whether you like to watch cartoons, whether you like to color, whether you like animations, all of those things have kid-like characteristics involved in them, right? Being a creative as well. So I believe as adults, we have to still tap into our inner child, our inner kid, and have fun with our kids. If you have kids, or even if you're adult, have fun as if, you know, certain times of the day or whatever, where you can focus on living in that kid imagination space. You know what I'm saying? I feel like a lot of adults, we take certain things a little bit too serious sometimes, and that could kind of kill and drain our imagination. So I say definitely tapping into your inner child, your inner kid, and staying consistent with allowing your imagination to flow. Sometimes we get inconsistent, and at times we get impatient. We want the art to just flow. Sometimes it'll flow, and sometimes it gets stagnant. Sometimes it's a little, you know, it's a little iffy. So you got to just push through it. Sometimes you got to take a break. So those are probably like my three main things I would say: tapping into your inner child, your inner kid, staying consistent, and being patient with yourself, your art, and your creativity.
Love that. And those are all really good core values that I think really drives a person towards success, which you're obviously achieving optimal success in everything that you're doing. I don't want to say what challenges have you faced, but let me say, like, what roadblocks have you come across that you've learned from, that you've grown from, and that you've seen has brought you to the next level in your life?
I could say two. One is in any type of physical ailments, physical challenges, disabilities, surgeries, things of that nature. I'd say for anybody that's, you know, we all go through those things, whether it's, you know, so don't allow your physical disabilities, ailments, or sicknesses to hold you back. You can still do what you want to do and be who you want to be through that and with that. We have to keep in mind that these are things that we go through. These are not things that we stay of. You know what I'm saying? So we go through these things. We go through them to teach us, to help us, and to also help other people. So that's one thing that I would definitely say is just my physical challenges and things of that nature. Also, too, is once you really get tunnel vision on your dream, your vision, your business, your purpose, it does kind of seem like it becomes a little boring. But I believe that it's not boring. It's just a little different from what you're used to. The path, the grind, the road is a little different, and we're not used to that. So in a sense, it's like this is boring, but you're actually building a person for a whole nother realm, a new life. And within that new life and those responsibilities, you're going to have to change for the better. You know, so whatever we ask for, we have to be able to accept that role and also work and change to become that role. So for me, I've been focused on building myself to know that, no, it's not boring. This is just a part of the path. You know what I'm saying?
Right. And you're grinding all the time. I see you out there doing your thing. And speaking of that grind, how much do you work? Let us know. I know you always on that grind, right? Do you get any sleep? You on that grind day and night because you producing music, you doing events, you doing graphic design. You got a lot going on.
Right. So what I will say is I'll give you a back end story and I'll make it quick. I am a workaholic. I'm still like that. My mind doesn't know when to stop. My body doesn't know when to stop. It's crazy, right? That. And one thing I will say is, for all my people out there, sometimes we think we're robots, right? We think we could just turn it on, keep it going, press play, don't feed it, don't hydrate it. You know what I'm saying? And that's not the purpose with us. We're humans. So we got to make sure that we're taking care of ourselves and giving ourselves that time to rejuvenate, sleep, rest, relax, and things of that nature. So I had a situation last year where I wasn't eating, I wasn't sleeping, and I passed out, right? Man. So I busted my lip, I busted my eye. It was kind of bad. So, but it woke me up to just be able to put me in a different perspective. And whenever I see my homies and we're focused on this grind mentality, I'm always going to be in a grind state mentality. But at the same time, we have to be in a health is wealth mentality as well. And we got to make sure that we're taking care of ourselves to be able to run these marathons. Shout out to Nick.
Yeah, 100% agree. You got to have that balance with work and life, and you got to take care of yourself. You got to tap in with yourself, because if you don't, good to anybody else, and you're not going to be able to produce your work efficiently and effectively. So 100% agree with that. But tell me about your events. I know you do a lot of events, and I'm guessing you incorporate your music. Let us know what's going on with that.
So I've been doing events for about 10 years through my company, The Elite Presents. We do most of our events in the Los Angeles, California area, but we actually branched out to Atlanta, and we're actually branching out to some other cities and states very soon. So the reason why I started doing that, as an artist, I had one of my first shows at the beginning of my career, and it didn't go as planned. The show was a success, but my payment on the back end wasn't what it was supposed to be. So for me, I was super salty about that. I was upset. I took the money that I got, I bought music equipment, and with the money that I was supposed to get, you could say I took that lesson, even though it was a loss in money, but I took that anger, frustration, and I built my company, The Elite Presents. Nice. So, and at that time it was a different company, but now we've changed the name to The Elite Presents. And we had our first fashion show.
Oh, that's dope.
Right. So after I had that incident with the promoter, I had a fashion show. I had different fashion designers. Excuse me. I had fashion designers. I had artist performances, and it was a success. So from there, I just kept it going, kept producing events. And here I am now with a great range of network that I'm utilizing within my music for myself.
Nice. So you incorporate all your music into your event, which is dope. And we're definitely going to be playing your music in the podcast. Definitely. We got to let people know what you're up to. So we're definitely going to throw that in there. But tell me a little bit about, some of the events that you have coming up or that you're planning. What's your vision in mind for your company? What do you see long term for yourself?
So right now we have a virtual talent showcase on Instagram Live. That's March 29th. Nice. And we'll have artists, we'll have poets, industry network. And this gives artists an opportunity to showcase their talents, not only online, but Instagram. You're actually able to connect and build with other like-minded individuals. And it actually helps with your engagement. We've been doing these events virtually online for about a couple years now on Instagram and Zoom. And yeah, the artists, they love it. I love hosting them. And I love providing opportunities, like I said, for other artists to expose their talent and for businesses to pop out and showcase their brands. As far as the company in the future, yeah, we're looking to work with celebrity talent and basically be the indie platform for artists in every state, even states that are not known for hip hop or whatever type of music. We want to be able to provide those opportunities in those spaces where they don't exist. So that is the goal.
Nice. And you being an artist yourself and helping artists, supporting them in the space of your events, what are some things that you can offer any artist who's tapping in today, who's trying to break into the field, who's trying to break into entrepreneurship? What are some things that you could offer to them from what you've been learning and seeing for yourself?
Definitely. I would have to say, like I said, staying consistent. Definitely staying consistent. Believing in yourself. You have to believe in yourself. That confidence has to come across, from you first. It doesn't have to be cocky or arrogant, but it needs to be some type of cockiness. Some type of confidence there.
Yeah, I got you, definitely.
Yeah, without the cockiness and stuff like that. And I would have to say, just utilizing every resource that you could possibly utilize, leaving nothing on the table. As an artist, it's saturated right now. Yeah. Everything is saturated, from brands, businesses, everything is saturated. So you got to use every resource that you can, and also make sure that your brand stands out. You want to make sure that, you look like what you say you are. So if you say you're the elite or the best, you want to look like the best, you want to look elite. And that's one of the things those are three things that I would definitely say I believe that would help an artist. Now, when it comes to services or any type of, where I can help an artist at, is definitely, I do artist consultations where I help artists find their brand, find their target audience and things of that nature. Because for me as an artist, that was difficult. It's not easy for an artist to know how to maneuver in a music game by yourself. Right. You know what I'm saying? So whatever knowledge that I have, that I obtain, I'm willing to go ahead and share that knowledge and hop on a call. Right. Yeah, I'm willing to hop on a call, hop on a Zoom, 10, 15 minutes and share that knowledge with an artist. Also, from the event side to graphic design to merch designs, I'm the plug, I'm that guy. So I definitely utilize my value to, help others.
Yeah, you definitely are. And you're spreading that awareness with the community. And I love it. I love the vibes of everything that you're doing. What would you say would be like your strongest core value of your brand? What makes you stand out? What makes you unique?
Well, I got like 3 different brands. So which one we talking?
Well, let's say we put it up like kind of together. What's your strongest quality or the most unique thing about those individual brands, I guess you could say then? Because when they look at you as Izova the Khemist, they're seeing all the things that you're doing. So maybe it represents you as an individual,
Right. They definitely do. I would have to say, I think when a lot of people speak to me, and I think one of my best qualities is really being able to use my mental, my brain.
Right, that mindset. It's all about the mindset.
Right. So I would have to say the mindset, because when you look at each company, they're put together the way that they need to be, and also the networking and the opportunities to adding value. And that's the mindset. You know, I'm not out here looking to flood people's comments or inboxes or emails with buffoonery and nonsense. I'm actually insisting that I add value to your situation. And if I can't add value to it, let's figure out how we can, or what plugs that I have where I can still add value to your situation.
Right.
And the same for me. That's what I'm looking for for myself, is people that can add value to, you know, what I'm doing.
Right. So be intentful, be purposeful, always know what you're going after. I love it. And you definitely have that strong mindset. I mean, I see it in you. I align myself with like-minded individuals, which is why this podcast was a really dope idea. So I'm glad we definitely connected on it. Now that you talked about your best quality, let's talk about your weakest quality, because everybody has one.
Everybody has one. Everybody has one. So I believe that now I'm actually working on that quality. So it's actually gonna work in my favor, but I'd have to say I was a bad delegator.
Aren't we all? I think I'm with you on that one too.
I was a horrible delegator. So for all my business owners, artists, entrepreneurs, you can do it on your own, but how fast and how long will that take you to do it? Right. Now, when I say you can do it on your own, that's a choice. Right. Can you really do it on your own? You can't. You know what I'm saying? So don't have, and not to, you know, don't have that mentality thinking you could do it on your own, when there's so many people out here that would love to assist you, love to help you, and also that would love to just be a part of your team. And one thing that I'll say that helped me a lot with being able to delegate was starting to barter.
Nice.
Once I started to barter, that opened it up. Okay, well, let's start delegating. You know what I'm saying? Some stuff towards to this person, that person. And when you have people asking you to delegate, you got to take advantage of that.
Yeah, I hear you 100%. Oh, you're going to run yourself down thin. You definitely got to know how to delegate.
Exactly.
100% agree. 100% agree. So I'm going to test something out with you today on my podcast. This is something new I'm going to try to do.
Let's do it.
I'm going to give you 3 words. You can pick one, whichever one you want. And you're going to tell me what your interpretation of that word. So
all right.
The 3 words are, you can choose whichever one you want, or you could do all 3. The 3 words are vibrant, flavor, colorful.
Okay, I'm gonna go with flavor.
All right, let's do it. Let's do it. Let me hear. Let me hear your interpretation of flavor.
When I think of flavor, it's flavor, right? Like the taste is right. Okay,
it could be anything you want, however you interpret it.
I just want to make sure I got the word right. Okay, so when I think of flavor, I think of Black people. I think of the culture. I think of our roots, our history, all those things in one. We provide the flavor to this world.
Love it.
If you really think about it, if you take away flavor from anything, right, you can still have it. Like the world can still exist, or food can still exist without flavor. But when you add that flavor, it mixes and it tastes so good, right? And I remember being in high school, and one of my high school teachers was a non-African American. You know, he was another race, and he actually said that that's the same way he felt, that Black people added flavor to the world. And when I heard that, it carried weight with me for the rest of my life. That's so dope. When I think of flavor, I think of Black people.
That's dope. See, everybody's gonna have a different interpretation. I just thought about this game. I like it. I like it.
I like it too. Yeah.
I would try this again, but it's been so dope rocking with you. I mean, I'm really having a great time just learning all about you, all the cool things that you're doing. And I know you do some graphic design as well. So you just kind of got involved with that because of the event, I'm guessing, right?
Yes. So basically you gotta, and it's not necessarily the paying for flyers. It was more so I need to know how to do this because
for your own
I'm
business,
reaching
your own
out to
self.
exactly. I'm reaching out to all these different graphic designers, and let's just be real. When we're communicating with people, sometimes there's a language barrier.
Absolutely.
So I would run into that a lot, and I just really didn't have the time to communicate in text exactly what I needed. At that time in my earlier stages, I didn't know what this particular design was called or what that's called. So I learned it. And once I learned it, I've always had a love for art as a kid. I always wanted to draw, always wanted to do stuff like that. And now in my adult years, that's actually come to pass. And it's so dope how we have these things that we might want to do as kids and never got the opportunity to do. And all of a sudden it comes out. And I actually learned graphic design right before the pandemic.
Nice. Yeah. And that's the best time too, because everybody was looking to do something during the pandemic. So you definitely learned it at a great time. So I have one last question, which you could answer it however you want, but what is like either something going on in the world today or just something in general that really irks you or that something you really want to see change come about with?
All right. So this has been coming up for a while. And I'd have to say it's probably two things. The whole men bashing women, women bashing men, you know what I'm saying? I don't like it. I'm not a fan of it. That part. So that's one. And then my second thing I would say would have to be blaming hip hop and blaming rap for what goes on in like the world, or even with particular people that get shot or this happens to them. It's like, yeah, I understand we're in the same rap community,
right?
But that was just a person who happened to rap.
Right. We got to take responsibility for our own actions.
Exactly. We can't keep blaming stuff on hip hop because in other cultures, they don't do that. They don't blame the music. They don't blame. And if that was the case, we should blame movies. We should blame TV shows, but we don't blame that. So why do we blame hip hop? You know what I mean?
Yeah,
so that's another thing. Those are my two things right now.
All right. I'm learning a little bit more about you each time. That's cool. That's dope. That's dope. And those are important things. I'm all about bringing about changes, and I know you are too. So we are creating those changes little by little. Little by little, we will get there and we'll create those bigger changes together as a community, which I know is what you're about. So it's been so much fun rocking with you. Is there any lasting thoughts that you want to leave everybody with? Any advice? Anything out there for those kids that are upcoming that want to break into this music industry? Those kids that need a good beating in their butts because they still don't got their shit together. What do you got to say? What do you got to say to those listening in today?
Man, first off, any entrepreneurs, businesses, brands, artists, make sure to tap in with Jennifer. She's a dope individual. I rock with her ever since I met her. She's been dope. Always tapping in with me. I see her tapping in with other people. Whatever love you give her, she's gonna reciprocate it right back.
100%.
So that's my first thing.
Appreciate you.
And you said about three things. So I'm gonna give you three more doses real quick. So my second to the youth is that if you want to break into the industry or whatever industry that you want to break into, 9 times out of 10, you don't have to ask nobody. It's on your phone. The industry you want to be in is right there on your phone. Tap in, download the app, get on Clubhouse, get on Instagram, get on socials, use your mouthpiece and network. Right. That's definitely for my youth out there. And you don't have to follow the trends, the buffoonery, what your favorite rapper is doing. You don't have to follow the negativity that you see from that's on social media. Right. And man, tap in with Izova the Khemist on all platforms. That's Izova, the Khemist with a K, Khemist. Social media, streaming platforms, new singles out right now, 24/8, Black Is, Grind Mode. Tap in with me, get a dose. Yeah.
There you go. There you have it, y'all. You're rocking with the Simply Real podcast. That's Izova the Khemist, a music artist, a graphic designer, event curator, tap in with him, y'all. Go check him out. Check out his new single, and we go definitely gonna rock out his music in a bit too. Thank you for joining us today, Izova. I appreciate you coming on the Simply Real podcast.
I appreciate you. Thank you.
Right.
I appreciate you, Jen. Thank you. Thank you so much.
No problem. Have a great day.
You too. You too.